Good morning. My name is Georgiev, and this is a video to share my experience as a ClaimTek licensee and also to compare that experience with my current and previous experience in being a licensee with American Business Systems, otherwise known as ABS. Now, I've already done a video which was about a year ago. And it's already out there on YouTube and online. So if you may have seen me, it's a video where me and Brian Weaver from ClaimTek discuss why American Business Systems didn't work out for me over the 2 years that I was initially their licensee. Since at that point I had not signed up with ClaimTek when the video was recorded, so since that I wanted to, I really wanted to do a review at several points throughout my being a licensee with ClaimTek, but I decided to wait out the whole year since I signed up, and now I signed up on January 30th last year, so this is basically a full year's review of how that worked out for me. So I have some talking points that I want to cover here, and what I'm going to talk about is the training that I got with ClaimTek, the marketing that was provided, marketing training and support, and the actual support when it came to just communicating with them, and how client acquisition worked, the ongoing training and support after I got clients. And this is a big talking point. I did get clients with ClaimTek, which is something I can't say for ABS. And I'm going to talk about the software a little bit. And I can't, it's not an apples to apples comparison, so I can't really do that, but I will try to do my best to paint a picture for you. And anybody that's really considering being a either ClaimTek or ABS licensee, this is definitely the video you need to watch, because I've done both, and there's some others like me that have done both of these licensing deals, and there's a good reason for that to happen. But I also want to cover what effort I made in being an ABS licensee to make it successful, to make it a successful business venture, why it did and it still doesn't work for me, what other options I considered besides choosing ClaimTek, because I had quite a bit of time to make that decision, and what happened after I signed up with ClaimTek and how ABS reacted, which is one of the things that I really wanted to share, because it was really astonishing to me to see what their reaction was. So I signed up on January 30th last year. I'm going to start with the training. The training was very straightforward. I didn't know exactly what I was going to get, and ClaimTek training has 3 stages. Compared to the ABS training, both are currently online. When I signed up with ABS, their training was in person, so I had to fly out to Texas, stay there for a whole week, pay for the hotel. So that was an added expense. That is no longer the case. I believe due to COVID, they now offer the whole training online. So in that sense, it's the same between both companies at this point. But the difference is what you're actually trained on. When I signed up with ClaimTek, I immediately scheduled my training, and you have the ability to do it on your own schedule of your choosing. I wanted to literally get it done, if I could have, within that first week. It was probably better. It took a little bit longer. I think I got it done in about 3 weeks, and it was just broken down in chunks. The training is actually other licensees that use the system and ClaimTek employees that help you understand how their systems work and how they work in different scenarios. when it comes to billing. And really the initial part of the training is to prepare you to have conversations with potential clients. It's not an all-out training where you're going to learn everything in that first bit of training, which I believe I did mine in 4 sessions. You could do more, or you could, maybe you need less, maybe you already understand everything. Now, when I was done with that training, we got into marketing training, and it's very straightforward. This is something I was really, I found really interesting. When I signed up with ABS, most of that first week, most of the week of training was spent on marketing techniques, and there's literally like 10 different things that or maybe it's even more, that they're going to teach you about how you can market your medical billing services and other services, so that you don't have to do any sleazy sales or cold calls. Well, that obviously didn't work, because I did pretty much everything that they taught us, and had no clients. So I ended up signing up with ClaimTek. ClaimTek, on the other hand, was very straightforward. They literally told you, here, these are 3 things that you need to do. This is what needs to happen on a daily basis, and there's no way around it. You're gonna have to make some calls. That was a big difference for me, because hearing that, them saying like, yeah, there's 1,000 other things you can do, but you're going to waste your time. You're going to have to make some calls and get on the phone and call some people you don't know. Yes, there is some cold calling involved. Now, the purpose of that isn't really to get a contract signed with a client. The purpose of that is to teach you to have the conversation with a potential client. Because you're going to need to get used to talking to doctors, especially if you've never been in the healthcare field like I had not been before. These conversations can get technical, and if you don't know how to answer, it's going to be very difficult for you to be successful. That was one of the biggest differences there. So there was no, they didn't hide anything. They didn't try to tell me, oh no, you can make it work without doing this. It's you're gonna, Brian said it. I spoke to Chris there as well. He's they both provide marketing training, and they're in sales. So they're great at it. They're at ClaimTek. They're gonna have conversation with you, which are gonna spark your ability to have better conversations with a potential client. The biggest difference was Brian literally came out and said, you're going to need to spend time or spend money. If you can't do one, you're going to have to do the other. So to explain that, when I signed up with ABS, I was told they're going to give me everything and provide me with everything I need, so that I don't have to spend any more money on marketing. Throughout the course of the 2 years, I ended up figuring out that's not really the case, and I had to spend more money on marketing. ClaimTek was different in the sense that they said, yes, here's some marketing materials, but the brochures that we're getting, they're not going to get you a sale. You're going to have to get that sale. At the end of the day, this is a business. You're going to have to sell. There's really no way around that. And that doesn't mean you're becoming a sleazy salesperson. Selling is really about bringing value to that potential customer of yours. Client acquisition. So this is another area where ClaimTek was phenomenal. Before I had even signed up, during that first week, I was talking to, or the week before I signed up, I was talking to Brian. I hadn't really made that decision yet. And at the same time, I was also talking to a potential client. Now, I didn't actually end up signing that client, but what Brian did was, even before I had signed up, they I had explained what the client is looking for, and they had sent me a ton of information so that I can have a better conversation with this particular doctor within his specialty, and really leave the impression that I understand what it is that they need, and that I have the team that is going to support me in that process of uh, providing medical billing services for them and credentialing services, which is what this particular client was looking for. That's a big difference between ClaimTek and ABS, and that's something that ClaimTek does on a regular basis. Pretty much every next opportunity I had during my training, after my training, during the whole last year, I've reached out and I said, I'm talking to, let's say, a chiropractor, and Brian or somebody on support is going to say, okay, here's some things you need to bring up in that conversation. Here's some things you need to consider during that conversation so you can really price the service properly and also actually address their pain points. The difference being that ABS teaches you to just ask general questions in order to figure out those pain points, but those general questions only really address what their software partners need to know about the practice. It doesn't really address the pain points. There's a difference there. And I'll explain that in a little bit once we get into ABS a little bit more. Right now, I want to spend this time on ClaimTek. So in that sense, ClaimTek was phenomenal, and they were immensely supportive and important because I was able to have really good conversations, and I was actually able to sign up clients throughout last year. Throughout all of last year, I was able to get a total of 8 clients. Not 1, not 2, 8 clients. 2 of them are seasonal, so that's something to consider, but I have 6 full-time practicing clients, and some of them are groups, some of them are small practices, single provider practices. And the biggest comparison I want to make here is not only does ClaimTek support provide you with that information after signing up the client or before signing up the client, but they also, once you have that signed contract, first they'll give you sample contracts, they'll walk you through the whole process, make sure you're pricing it correctly, you can have a conversation with them about that. They're really there for you throughout the whole process. Once you sign up that client, that's and maybe you're like me, you actually never filed another claim, you've never actually done the billing before. So now you have this client, and what are you going to do for them? Well, ClaimTek literally said, okay, just this is the information you need to get from the client. We're going to walk you through the whole process. We're going to help you set it up. We're going to make sure that it's done correctly. And the client is just going to see the end result, which was phenomenal, because this creates it's not really an illusion, it's a fact that you're actually doing the work. Yes, ClaimTek is there to support you and make sure you're doing it correctly, but that is completely different than ABS. One of the major differences there is you're setting up that client yourself. You're setting them up within the software, within the clearinghouse that you chose, and this is important too, because I was able to choose a different clearinghouse, and I had to work with several clearinghouses throughout last year. And I'll get into that in a little bit, but it's different because with ABS, the software partner that they use requires a minimum of 45 up to a 90-day implementation process. When I signed my first client, I had him up and running on day 2. Think about that. 2 days and I was already able to submit claims. You're never going to be able to do that the software that ABS uses because the onboarding process is much longer, and you do not control that process. There's a company behind it, and they control that process, and they have their steps. There's positives to that. I'm not saying that's entirely a bad thing, because in that scenario, with ABS, with their partner, you actually don't have to do any of the setup. But personally, I like that I was able to control that whole process and get it done much quicker and be working on behalf of that client. Um, throughout the year, I had different opportunities. Not all of them panned out, but in talking about client acquisition, one of the things that I made a point of doing is always offering both services. So I always wanted to offer what I had as an ABS licensee, as well as what I had as a ClaimTek licensee. And what I found is every time the ClaimTek way of working with the client worked better. I was able to get the client when I was offering the service as a ClaimTek licensee rather than an ABS licensee. The difference being I didn't need the client to switch any software. I didn't need them to sign any contracts besides my own. With ABS, because you have other parties involved, they're actual partners that deliver the services. There's other contracts. It's a longer process. With ClaimTek, I was just able to offer my services, credentialing, billing, setting up the practice, the PM system, and just get working with that client and actually delivering results for them and cleaning up their billing and helping their patients and bettering their reputation. The whole point there is with ABS, I wasn't able to do that because the first thing you're going to be you ask is, let's do a demo with our software provider with this EHR. Even though it's white label, somebody else is still doing the demo, and it takes away from that conversation. Now you're not delivering value, you're just trying to get them signed up for a software system. Now let's move on a little bit, and I'll try to keep this under an hour if I can, but there's a lot to talk about. Obviously, I have a lot of experience with this, and I just want to share as much as I can. And I'm going to say this right now, and I'll say it at the end of the video. If anybody needs to talk to me directly, you can reach me. I don't want to necessarily share my phone number on here, but you can reach out to ClaimTek. They can share my info. You could probably reach out to ABS, but I doubt they'll give you my info. So moving on to the next point, ongoing support and training. That goes back to what we already talked about with client acquisition, and they were able to walk me through the exact process of building claims, submitting claims, setting up my clearinghouse, selecting the clearinghouse, all of that training. And to this day, it's probably going to take me years to learn everything. I doubt I'm ever going to know absolutely everything about billing. But at this point, I know a lot, and I can answer a lot of my own questions. But anytime I don't fully understand something, or I can't find the exact answer I'm looking for, I can always reach out to ClaimTek support, and they're going to answer. The difference is, and now this is a little bit of hearsay because I haven't actually had a client through my ABS licensing deal, so I haven't had to use their support in this manner. But from talking to other licensees, my understanding is that ABS does not provide this kind of support. Their support is more so, I don't know how to put it, moral. It's not really support as in answering billing questions, telling you why something got denied or like pointing in the right direction. It's more so, okay, well, this is who you need to talk to. Whereas ClaimTek provides actual billing support, actual coding support. They actually do billing and coding themselves. That's the huge difference. The people that are providing you support are people that are doing that work on a daily basis. They're not. Anyways, let's moving on to software. This is one of the biggest weaknesses that I found with ABS. The software is great, but it's software that you have to sell. You have to sign up. That new practice, that new client has to sign up for the software. And it doesn't work for everybody because of the cost involved in their software and the EHR that they use, which is white labeled. And I don't think I can disclose actual software partners, so I'm not going to go there. But it's on the expensive end of EHRs and PM systems. It's on a monthly subscription, and I'm not going to disclose actual costs, but it's pretty high up there compared to other solutions on the market. I've only actually found maybe one, or I'm going to say two solutions that are actually more expensive. And those are going to be Advanced MD and I think Athena is a little more expensive. Now, if we're talking about the same level of EHR. The difference is, first from the subscription standpoint, with the ClaimTek system, with MedOffice, with DentOffice, with their EHR manager, your subscription cost is much lower. And the main thing is you're actually not taking on the contract for that subscription. So if you're signing up somebody for the EHR, they're taking on that contract. If you're signing up just billing clients and you're just going to be using the PM system, you have an unlimited number of practice users, meaning the like doctors, nurses, medical staff, clinical staff, non-clinical staff, front office. There's an unlimited number of users. The main part is unlimited number of providers in your PM system. You don't pay per provider. You only pay a monthly hosting fee. That's a huge difference. It's once you start getting more clients, that's going to be in the thousands compared to ABS. I mean, it's astonishing. And to be honest, most of the software out there, Cario, I don't know, Practice EHR, a ton of other systems, they all use the same per provider per month subscription model. And it's the same thing with ABS. So it's not uncommon, but that is one of the biggest costs you're going to experience as a billing company. And the biggest downside, I guess, with the ABS software partner is the fact that you as a licensee have to take on that contract. And I've talked about, I think I touched up on this last year, but one of the things that happens is, let's say you sign up somebody and they're a 6-month client and hey, maybe you didn't do such a great job, or the practice closed, or something happened. You're into a year contract. Their software partner will not waive that. What that means is you as a billing company are taking on that responsibility for the full contract. That's huge. That is a huge overhead. It's a huge risk. Now, if you ask me, I'm very confident in my services and my level of expertise at this point, and I don't think I'm going to lose any of these clients that I already signed up because I'm doing a great job. I'm actually bringing value to them. And maybe there isn't a chance of me being on the hook for, that whole amount with the ABS software system, but what if something happens? I want to have an out, and I don't want to be on the hook for that amount of money. So that's probably one of the biggest downsides. Besides that, all the services that ABS put in a package for you as a licensee so that you can offer them to your potential clients, none of those services are actually offered by ABS. They're all offered through a third party, through a partner. So the best way I can explain this is this is a huge leap, but I'm going to compare it to multi-level marketing. That is the best comparison I can make to this. Basically, it's like signing up to be an Avon salesman. You're selling somebody else's products, or who else? Primerica. There's a ton of other companies. If you understand what multi-level marketing is, it's affiliate marketing. None of it is yours. It's also not. You're actually becoming an affiliate of an affiliate. ABS is the affiliate of this companies, and you're a licensee of ABS. So essentially, yes, it's all white labeled for you, but it's still affiliate marketing. And that's a huge downside because you have a lot more touch points, a lot of different companies that you have to work with. Yeah, so it's multi-level marketing. That's the best way I can describe what ABS actually is. It's definitely not a medical billing company. It's not a franchise. One of the other things I wanted to talk about is what actually happened after I signed up with ClaimTek. The video went live, I think maybe a couple of months after I signed up. And at that point, ABS obviously got wind of the video, saw it, watched it. It's my first video about me being a licensee with them. And basically what happened is there's a Facebook group for licensees. I was removed from the Facebook group. I have a deal for lifetime support and training on their online portal. It's a licensee exclusive portal where they do like monthly webinars. You access all your information, pricing, and all that stuff. Without going into details, I was blocked out of that for posting an honest opinion video. So, and then I got an email from their vice president, or I believe president at this point, Adam Phillips, stating something to the extent of, we find this video very hurtful. We really value, all our licensees and so on and so forth. And Adam, if that was the case, maybe you should have put some effort into actually making your licensees successful. I'm not the only one that this hasn't worked for. I believe hundreds of people that this hasn't worked for. Not everybody's willing to come forward. A lot of people may be looking into litigation. I looked into that. I asked for a refund. Refunds are not offered. It's not going to happen. Litigation is actually going to cost more than the licensing was worth. So instead of the reason I'm telling you this, the reason I'm sharing this is throughout my 2 years as a licensee, ABS never reached out to me. I said, hey, how are you doing? Can we do anything to support you? What is it that you're struggling with? I reached out to them several times, not several, maybe, I don't know, 10, 20 times when I had questions, when I wanted to find out, I really need to figure out something so I can get a client with this licensing deal. And their answer was always, here, go on the website, watch a video, replay this webinar, you're losing your motivation. Oh, that's the most I ever got out of them. And yet when I share my experience with everybody out there, when I tell my honest opinion about what they are and what their licensing deal is, the reaction I get isn't, oh, we're sorry this happened, how can we make it better? It's, okay, so if you're gonna share your opinion, we're gonna block you out of everything we can block you. So does that sound to you like a legitimate company that is really interested in the best interest of their licensees, or does it sound more like a multi-level affiliate marketing company which is interested in getting paid up front and doing as little as possible later, which really that's what it sounds to me like. During the last year, that was the only communication I received. It was from Adam Phillips, and it was to tell me that, you know, oh, they thought that they can block me out of the website, the Facebook group. I'm still blocked out of the Facebook group. I was able to get back into the website because, well, I have a lifetime support deal. It's a lifetime. They can't change that. I signed the contract and so did they. The main difference there between ABS and ClaimTek over the last year as a ClaimTek licensee, I have gotten, I'm going to say, let's just call it once a month calls from either Brian or Chris at ClaimTek. And they were just regular phone calls. Sometimes it was at 7, 8, 9 p.m. My time, asking me, hey, how's everything going? Do you have any clients you're working with? Do you need any help? Is there any anything we can do for you? Do you want to just have a conversation? Do you want to do a training video? Is there anything we can do for you? And this was unsolicited. It wasn't me reaching out to support saying, hey, guys, I really need help. It was ClaimTek reaching out to its licensees. And I really, truly hope they do that for everybody. And not just for me, but, and I'm pretty sure that they do, because I talk to a lot of other licensees, and they're just a phenomenal company. They actually care. And I think that's the biggest value that they bring. They actually care. How, you know, my guess is, you know, ABS is not going to react well to this. I'll probably get blocked out of the website again. But at this point, it doesn't matter. I don't think it's even necessary for me, because now I have clients. I'm happy with ClaimTek, and ABS is a mistake that I hope nobody else makes. And anybody that asks me, I'm going to tell them my exact experience. Now, I also want to point out what effort I actually made to be successful with ABS. At the time, I was, when I signed up, I was employed full-time. I spent my lunch hours prospecting for clients. I spent my weekends doing conferences, walk-ins. I would get up Saturday morning, go to offices, do walk-ins, get business cards, get information, get contact, and try to get clients. I was actually successful in getting some demos booked, meetings that would potentially land me clients. And the breaking point for all of those meetings was the demo with their software partner. Either it was too expensive, or in most cases, that's not actually what the practice is looking for. There are a lot of these practices, and this is something I said on the last video. Most practices already have an EHR. I actually have a few clients that I'm still working on paper claims for, but it just works for them. They don't need to change. So if you're going in as a licensee and saying, well, let's get you into software, and that's not really what they need, you're going to lose in that conversation because you're not bringing value. You're just trying to get them signed up for software for a subscription that they don't need, and that's not value. Value is actually solving their problem without disrupting their way of work, unless it actually needs to be. That is my honest opinion. So if I had to choose, if I had to choose right now, ClaimTek all the way, ABS, I wish I never did it. But on the other hand, I will say this, I am thankful that I got started with ABS because that is actually how I became interested in medical billing. That is how I started learning about all of this. I ended up signing up with AAPC because of the poor training that ABS provided. I felt that I needed more knowledge, and I'm actually a certified AAPC biller, practice manager at this point, and that makes a huge difference. But I am actually thankful for that mistake because it got me to where I am now. And I'm thankful that I'm able to share this with everybody so that nobody else makes this mistake like I did. So if there's anything that you take away from this, both companies can work. Now, I just want to be clear here. I'm not saying that ABS doesn't work for anybody. There are people that ABS works for. That's obvious. They have licensees. They have successful licensees. Some are very successful. A lot of their most successful licensees got started before the EHR mandate. So it was during a transition period where everybody was still on paper. Right now, that is no longer the case. Most practices have an EHR in place. You're going to have a very hard time convincing them, especially if they have a good workflow, to make that change. It's a huge disruption to any private practice to change systems in the middle of operations. It could work if you have a background in healthcare, if you already have clients, potential clients lined up, if you have a very strong sales background in software as a service sales background, to be specific, if you have affiliate marketing sales background. Yeah, it can work. But if you're actually looking to deliver value to your clients and to actually make a difference, a positive difference for these clients, and you're considering ABS or ClaimTek, I suggest you go with ClaimTek. They're a better company. They actually care about their licensees. They have better support. They actually do billing and understand what goes into billing. Other than that, there's other options. So, and now if you're already an experienced biller, coder, you're in healthcare, you understand how everything works, maybe you don't need either one of these options. There's just, you're going to need some sort of software to do your actual claims processing on. You're going to need a clearinghouse. And that could be a number of different systems. You're just going to have to choose what will work best for the potential client. These are, in both cases, these are very expensive investments. I'll say it again, I don't think investing in ABS is worth it. And if you think you're going to get support, you're not. You will get a white labeled package of services, which is, again, multi-level marketing, affiliate marketing. If you sign up with ClaimTek, you're going to get a ton of support. You're going to get your own software, and just a much better experience, and you're going to be 1,000 times more likely to actually get clients. Going back to that point, getting clients with ClaimTek for me was also more successful because I was able to sign up clients that I would have had to say no to with ABS because they just are not a good fit for the solution that ABS offers. What does that mean? Does it mean that those are not paying clients, that they're not profitable clients? No, it doesn't. As a matter of fact, they're lucrative clients if you know how to do the work. And that's not something you're going to be able to learn from ABS. I think that is all I have for now. Again, if you watch this video and you want to talk to me, maybe you're considering ClaimTek, maybe you want to become a biller and start your own company, maybe you already have experience and you're considering like, how do I start my own company? How do I get my own clients? If you need the support, go with ClaimTek. With that, I think that's all I have to say for today. I did keep it under an hour. We're at 43 minutes, which is pretty good. And yeah, it's been an interesting journey, and I am very thankful for where I am right now. Thank you so much, and have a great day.